begin the configuration of the cameras, storage devices and decoders, click Video in the Global Configuration. In the Video Configuration section, we will cover the configuration of the cameras that were discovered by the gateway, review the storage devices and configuration, and review the final area of the video configuration, decoders. Let's begin by taking a look at the camera configuration. Click Cameras. A list of the discovered cameras and encoder streams is displayed at the top of the screen. This list also includes the HTTP, RTSP, and encoder streams that have been manually added. Select the camera. The camera details are displayed in the bottom pane. Many of these fields can be edited. However, some fields contain read-only information about the camera. Note that discovering a camera does not mean that the gateway is able to connect to, or log into that camera. When a camera is discovered, it is placed in a pre-provisioned admin state, and needs to be put in service. The camera table contains the following information about each camera that was discovered: device name, device model, IP address of the camera, PTZ, if the camera has pan, tilt and zoom capability, the MAC address of the camera, the current connection state of the camera, and the current admin state of the camera. Below the camera table are the camera details. The camera details include the following: General tab. The General tab is available for all cameras that the system has discovered on the network. Stream and Recording. These tabs are only available after the system successfully connects to a camera by using the parameters in the General tab. Let's take a closer look at the General Information tab. The admin state is a drop-down list of the operational states of the camera. The admin states are: pre-provision, the gateway has discovered the selected camera but has not attempted to connect to it. This is the default state for each camera that has been discovered. In service, the gateway has connected to, or is attempting to connect to the camera. Once the connection is made, the Stream and Recording tabs become available. Out of service, the gateway is not connected to the camera. This state can be set intentionally to remove a camera from the system or be the result of the gateway failing to connect to the camera. The most common cause for the connection failure is the use of an incorrect username or password. After admin state is username. This is the username that the gateway uses to connect to the camera. Password, the password used to log into and connect to the camera. Note: the username and password must be configured for the camera using the camera's web interface or configuration utility. These credentials cannot be configured or modified from the gateway. Next is device name. The gateway provides a default name that it creates after discovering the camera. This default name includes the model and IP address of the selected camera. You can either keep the default name, or enter a custom name. Device location, an optional field to enter the physical location of this camera. After the gateway discovers the camera, the following read-only information is retrieved: device model, the make and model of this camera. Connection state, shows a state of connected if the gateway is connected to this camera, and can process the video stream coming from it. The connection state displays not connected until the gateway can process the video stream. PTZ indicates whether or not this camera is capable of pan, tilt, and zoom functions. Serial number, the discovered serial number of this camera. The actual MAC address of each NLSS device serves as the serial number for the device. IP address, the discovered IP address of this camera. Click on the IP address to access the camera's web-based configuration interface. Hardware version, the discovered hardware version of this camera, if a version is available. Firmware version, the discovered firmware version running on this camera, if any is available. MAC address, the discovered MAC address of this camera. Now the discovered cameras can all be put in service and be connected to the gateway. First, select the camera. Step 1. From the admin state drop-down lists, change the setting from pre-provision to in service. Enter the camera's username and password. The camera in this example does not have a username and password. Optionally, enter a customized device name and device location. Click Save to keep the settings. Once the gateway connects to the camera, you will notice that an event was generated indicating that a camera came online, and the connection state has changed to connected. You will also notice that the Stream and Recording tabs are now available for configuration. We will take a look at the Stream configuration next. Select the Stream tab. The Stream tab contains the following information about the selected camera. Available streams. Some cameras have multiple outputs, each using a different codec and/or resolution. When you click a specific stream from the list of streams on the left of the tab, the video and audio parameters on the right update to match the selection. Video stream. These parameters vary, depending on the type of camera and stream. The gateway receives these parameters from the camera. The parameters are not editable, and depend on the type of camera you are configuring. The parameters must be updated on the camera itself. These parameters include video codec type, the type of video codec used by this stream. Frame rate, frames per second of this video stream. Resolution width, the width, in pixels, of this video stream. Resolution heights, the height, in pixels, of this video stream. Bitrate mode, can be CBR, constant bitrate, or VBR, variable bitrate. Bitrate, the video transfer rate between the camera and the gateway. VBR quality, if the bitrate mode equals VBR, then VBR quality indicates how much compression is being used. VBR upper cap, if the bitrate mode of this camera is VBR, then VBR upper cap indicates the maximum amount of compression that can be applied. The video stream fields also include two advanced fields. Click Advanced to display them. The advanced fields are not used in each application. Apply them only as needed. TCP, select the checkbox to change the stream protocol from UDP to TCP for better bandwidth usage. Skip to keyframe, select the checkbox to optimize video in a congested network. Save any changes made to these settings. The gateway also gathers the following audio information from the camera if it is audio capable and enabled. Audio codec, the type of audio codec used by this stream. Audio sampling rate, the sampling rate of the camera audio. And audio bit rate, the transfer rate, in kilobits per second, of audio data between the camera and its gateway. For more information regarding these video and audio stream parameters, please consult your camera installation or user guide. Next, we are going to enable the secondary stream of this camera. To enable, simply place a checkmark in the box to the left of the stream. Click Save to keep the change. Now that the camera is connected and the streams are configured, the final area to look at is the Recording tab. This tab is used to set the recording instructions for each camera and stream. Select the Recording tab. If the selected camera outputs more than one stream, all available streams are listed under Stream Settings. A stream listed on the left, such as Stream 0 or Stream 1, is associated with the recording schedule to the right in the same row. Select a schedule from the drop-down list to associate it with the corresponding stream. The list contains predefined schedules as well as the schedules that were created in the Schedules section of the global configuration of the gateway. Camera settings. The following camera settings apply to all streams generated by the selected camera. Record to volume. From the drop-down list of accessible storage devices, select the device to store recordings from this camera. The video of the selected camera can be sent to an individual attached storage device, network attached storage, or a system selected to allow the gateway to determine where to store the current video. The gateway uses all available storage devices to archive the video, and begins by selecting the device with the most available storage. It then moves to the next drive with the most available, and so on. Once all drives are at capacity, the gateway determines which drive to use based on the global and camera-specific groomer settings. As mentioned in the global configuration of groomer settings, the global settings apply to all cameras that are associated with the gateway. But these global settings are overridden by any groomer settings that are done at the camera level configuration. These camera groomer settings are: minimum retention days, The minimum number of days a recording from the selected camera are saved on disk before being considered for auto-deletion by the groomer. Maximum retention days. The maximum number of days a recording from the selected camera will be saved on disk before being auto-deleted by the groomer. This example assigns a recording schedule to stream 0 and stream 1 of the selected camera. Select a recording schedule for stream 0. And then select a schedule for stream 1. Now that we have set the recording schedules for the streams for the selected camera, the next step is to determine where to store the recorded video. Select a storage destination from the Record to Volume drop-down list. For this example, an internal destination will be set. The minimum and maximum retention time, in days, also can be modified for the camera to override the groomer settings. Save the settings when done. Cameras can be manually added and configured using RTSP or HTTP. Click Add in the Cameras list. Many of the IP cameras today have the ability to stream video via multiple protocols such as RTSP, RTMP, HTTP etc. The NLSS gateway has the capability to connect to and stream video from those cameras that support RTSP or HTTP. Please consult the camera's installation guide to verify what protocols, if any, that are supported by the camera that is intended to be connected to the gateway. To configure an RTSP or HTTP stream, start by putting the stream in service from the admin state drop-down list. Supply the username and the password that will allow the gateway to connect to the camera. Again, these credentials are configured via the camera user interface or configuration tool. Choose whether the stream is RTSP or HTTP from the custom stream type list. Device name. Enter a device name for this stream. Device location. You can enter a description of where this camera is located. Stream URL. This is the URL path or internet location of the camera stream. Here are a few examples of what the stream URL looks like, but please be sure to verify the proper stream URL in the camera installation guide, or contact the camera manufacturer customer support team. Multicast. Check the box for this camera to use multicast. Uncheck the box to use unicast. In this example, we are going to add a camera to the gateway using RTSP. We will start by entering the username for accessing the camera. Set the admin state to in service. Enter the username and password for the camera. Select the stream type. In this example, RTSP is used. Enter a device name to identify the camera. Enter a location to indicate where the camera is installed. Enter the URL for the video stream. Multicast is not being used with this camera, so leave that box unchecked. Click Save to keep the settings. The gateway adds the camera to the camera list and makes the connection to it in the same manner that it connected to the cameras that were discovered. Once connected, the Stream and Recording tabs become available for this camera. To complete the configuration, set up the Stream and Recording parameters for this camera, using the same process that we did with the discovered camera previously. Besides streams, a variant encoder also can be manually added. The encoder only needs to be added if it is on a different network than the gateway, or the encoder's port was changed from its default setting. The gateway discovers encoders on its own network. Click the stream type drop-down list and select encoder. Enter the username and password, if needed, plus the IP address, and the encoder's port setting. Select the device model from the drop-down list. Click Save to keep the settings. This concludes the connection and configuration of the cameras to the NLSS gateway. With the completion of this section, all cameras and streams are attached to the gateway. Please return to the video configuration playlist to begin the review of the next section, Video Storage Devices.